Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Dr. Obi Oramba, reaching you from Nkolo Mahadum, Wisdom University. Today's date is Orie Market Day in the 50th month called Onwa Agu in lunar calendar. You know that lunar calendar is Igbo calendar. And if we are following the lunar calendar, which is Igbo calendar, we shall be observing a lot of holidays in our land that has to do with our culture, like Iriji, like Egwi Moka in my town, and so many other festivals being organized in our culture according to the lunar calendar. But we are following the Roman Catholic calendar being imposed on us by our brothers and sisters, and thereby observing foreign colonial cultures with those calendars. And today's date in the colonial Roman Catholic calendar is June 24th, 2024. The title of our lecture today is why the genetically modified organisms, which are GMO organisms, are not good for you, and why African governments should instead promote and protect our naturally given seeds and crops for our people. That is the title of today's lecture, because we have seen what is going on around the globe, how the GMO foods are being used in so many countries with their advantages and disadvantages. And before we continue, please, we beg you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our program, comment, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms. And then share our programs. Share to your friends and well-wishers. And for those who don't have internet access, please always tell them what you are learning from this marvelous Nkolo Mahadum, Wisdom University. Remember, Nkolo Mahadum is for you to use your akonuche, your God-given common sense, to reason, to decide and make the right decisions so that you and Biafran and Africans will be better. Before we delve into the GMO foods, it's better we make some definitions. The first definition we have to make today is what is DNA. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. That's what it means. But in trying to explain the component of DNA, DNA is a complex molecule that contains all the necessary information to build and maintain an organism naturally. What this means is that the DNA contains everything, for example, that makes a cat to deliver a cat, or that makes a goat to produce a goat, or to make a lion to produce a lion, or to make a a chicken or any animal to produce itself naturally. That's what DNA is in our body. Because our genetic makeup, every animal genetic makeup, even human beings are different. Even from the same mother, you are still genetically different somehow. And so DNA is a complex molecule that contains all the necessary information to build and maintain an organism naturally. That is making sure that the same organism is produced every time. Now, what does genetically modified organism and foods mean? GMO, genetically modified organisms, includes things like plants, animals, microorganisms, in which the genetic material, that is the DNA, has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally by mating or by natural recombination. It means that the DNA has been altered, has been changed. That's what it means. That DNA that makes you to reproduce naturally has been altered with chemicals. One form or the other chemical has been altered. So what that organism or crop will now produce will be different from the natural one. That's what it means. That is what part of what Nkolo Mahadum is here to explain to you today. That genetic modified organisms, which includes plants, the crops, animals, and microorganisms, have been modified, genetically modified. Their gene, their DNA has been modified to produce something else rather than the naturally occurring process. So when you alter that, it gives you something different. Genetically modified organisms has some advantages. It includes attractiveness. It looks good to consumers. When you see it, look very good. It is resilience. So sometimes they put chemicals there to prevent that animal or that plant from being attacked by another insect or animal. So it's resilience. It is also serves as nutritional value. So when you eat it, you are full. You know, when you eat it, you feel full. It serves as food, yes. And then another advantage is that it is less wasteful. It creates less waste. So it has some obvious advantages. However, the disadvantages outweigh the advantages. And some of the advantages includes allergic reactions. You can eat a genetically modified food and have allergic reaction to the chemical they use to alter the DNA of that crop, of that food. You can be allergic to it. Another disadvantage is digestive disorder. The chemicals they use to modify that DNA of the original product into the genetically modified one may not be received well by your body, the digestive system. So it can be causing a lot of digestive problems like diarrhea, constipation, and the rest. Another disadvantage is cancer. Genetically modified food causes a lot of cancer and therefore not good for anybody. The fourth disadvantage is hormonal imbalance. When you eat GMO foods, crops or foods, it can make the males not to be able to have enough testosterone in their body. And also for women can be having a lot of hormonal imbalances, like not infertility, a lot of infertility, menstrual cycle issues, and others. Another disadvantage is antibiotic resistance. So the chemicals used to alter that is in that genetically modified food may lead to antibiotic resistance. So when you are taking antibiotics, those drugs will be prevented from doing the work like they usually do and will be ineffective. Another disadvantage is organ damage. GMO foods can lead to kidney or liver damage and other parts of the body damage, including the intestinal fluids. It can also lead to, diarrhea and others. Another disadvantage of GMO foods is neurological problems, something that has to do with our nerves, so it can lead to Parkinson's disease, it can lead to autism and others, neurological disorders. Another one is reproductive issues. Women and men can no longer reproduce. Women and men can no longer reproduce. Another issue is immune system dysfunction. The body is naturally built to protect itself. And when you start taking this or eating this GMO foods, it can break down the immune system in your body and dispose your body to infections. And the last one is obesity and metabolic disorders. You know what obesity means? People growing fatter either in the stomach or in the back, or too much fat. People growing so big. So as you can see, GMO foods has many, many more disadvantages than the advantage. So the question is, why will a sane government in Africa, in Nigeria, in Biafra land, accept these GMO foods over our naturally given seeds and foods? Why would they do that? And that's why Nkola Mahadum is using this opportunity to call on all leaders in Africa, especially the National Assembly of Nigeria, to stop President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from accepting whatever deal he's having with Bill Gates or other foreigners to bring in GMO crops into Nigeria. And also to advise all the governors and houses of assembly in Biafra land to make sure that GMO crops are not allowed in our land. because our population are illiterates. There's no information. We don't have the facilities, the infrastructures, the hospitals, the doctors, the labs to take care of our people. When all these adverse effects that I have enumerated here starts to occur on our people, we don't have the infrastructures or trained personnel, and therefore should never be allowed to have a hold in Africa, in Biafra land, or in Nigeria. And that's why Nkola Mahadum is making this lecture today, to educate our people about what GMO organism stands for. They are found in crops, they are found in animals, they are found in different other organisms, which they have modified. And before we continue, we have to ask you again to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, like our program, share it, and comment so that we know how you are feeling. And like we said, we shall be making every lecture short, because we know that people don't have data, people don't have time. So you can just listen to it and take action. Listen to it, comprehend it, and take action. And with this, the takeaway from today's lecture is that the genetically modified organisms, which includes the crops, the plants, the animals, and other organisms, have so many adverse disadvantages, adverse effects, so many disadvantages for you Biafrans and Africans, and should never be allowed. Bola Tinubu should be stopped. The National Assembly should stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Where are the courts, the judges? They should stop Ahmed Tinubu from introducing this deadly GMO foods in our land. Because once they allow it to come in, our people are not educated, our people don't have the awareness. They will just say, oh, it is cheap, oh, it is many, oh, it's beautiful, therefore we have to buy it, and they don't know what they are eating. And tomorrow, death will occur, and they'll be blaming somebody that somebody killed my child, somebody killed me. No, nobody's killing you. You are dying from what you are eating. So that's why Nkola Mahadum want to warn you to not accept the GMO foods. They are not good for you. That's the takeaway from today's lecture. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. But before we do, we must advise you to please support the Eastern Security Network. That is the only security outfit that are in the bushes, driving away the Fulani herdsmen, terrorists from our forests. Because that is where they camp and take off to kill our people and prevent our people from famine. Support them so that they can be taken away, driven away from our farmlands, bushes, and forests, so that our farmers can go into their farms to produce food for our teeming population. Support it. Support it now before it is too late. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. Again, my name is Obiora Mba Igboeze. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.